All right. What are you guys' names?
Katrina LaFlame Gunnels.
Charles William Gunnels IV. Billy.
All right. Please tell me your story, how you met, fell in love, and married.
You get to go first. Your better story.
Short story or long story?
How much time do we have?
All the time.
Okay. Your mother was eavesdropping on a conversation I was having with a buddy. And during the course of the conversation, she spent more and more time listening to us versus hanging out with her friends. Her friends were abnormally flamboyant for being in Utah, which is kind of
They were theater people.
reserved. I didn't know that at the time. But they were all over the place, and she was sort of not really listening to them. She was spending her time, sort of looking at us. And by us, I mean me. I was talking to a buddy named Todd Braithwaite. And after, 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, I stopped having a conversation with Todd Braithwaite. I stopped. I turned over to who would become your mother and said, "Hi, my name's Billy. Who are you?" Because she spent all of her time just looking at us and wanted to join our conversation. She was a little taken aback, and she said, "Katrina." And I said, "Where are you from?" She said, "Canada." I said, "Oh, you're a Canuck." She goes, "No, American." I said, "Oh, draft dodger." And her face just went beet red because that ended up being why she was in Canada. And then I said, "I love Canada," trying to make it a little bit easier.
This is the first bet I ever lost. The first of many bets I would
And
lose.
she was miffed because I had just called her out for family being draft dodgers, and she's like, "We don't know Canada." I'm like, "Yeah, I know Canada." She's like, "When have you been to Canada?" I'm like, "I've been to Canada." "When have you been to Canada?" "I've been to Newfoundland," because I did go to Newfoundland like a year or two ago. I went from Louisiana up to Newfoundland just for a road trip for the fun of it. And she's like, "Newfoundland's not part of Canada." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." She's like, "It's not part of Canada." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." So I don't know when, later,
Never
not that
bet
night.
against my husband on geography. Never.
Later that night, next night, day after that, months later, we've learned that Newfoundland was part of Canada.
Yeah, I
So
lost
that was-
that bet.
That was that. And
Yeah.
there was not much to it,
Yeah,
except she started stalking me
that is true.
with all of her buddies.
Yeah,
And not very well.
it was really poorly done.
Yes, that's good.
I had a friend in housing. I wanted to find out if he was dating anybody, and they failed me totally. Yeah, totally failed me. And then it took me about 6 hours to write an email to
Which is
ask him
funny.
out. And this is back in the day where you had green text on a black background.
Yeah, it was
And
old school email.
It was very old school. It was.
Pine.
It was.
Pine from the
It was.
University of Washington. It was Pine.
Yes, it was.
It was Pine.
Yes,
Yeah, it was Pine.
And it was like 3 sentences that took me and 2 of my girlfriends what felt like an hour and a half to write. So yeah, so I asked him out.
And I said,
No,
"I can't. I have to teach." I had to teach.
he said no.
She asked me to go to a
said
play, and I said, "I can't. I have to teach." So then,
That was it for me.
nothing.
He said no. I was out.
Nothing.
Out. I
A
thought
day,
the teaching thing was a terrible excuse.
2
I was out.
days, a week. So she wrote me with email, so I responded back with email. And I said, "What's up? I didn't think you were a coward. You didn't reach back out."
Yep, that's right.
And literally through typing, you go, in response.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, do you want to go out?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "No, seriously." "Do you want to go out?" "No." I'm like, "Why?" Like, "You rejected me." "I didn't reject you. I had to go teach."
Yeah, it's true.
So I pushed it for a little while, and then she agreed to go out.
Yep,
And she informed me that she would be very disappointed
that's correct.
if I ended up being an axe murderer.
That is
like
accurate.
literally, those were her
Those
words.
are my words.
So then
Yes,
we're trying to
that
think
is
of
correct.
where can I take this woman that she's not going to be afraid she's going to be murdered by an axe. So where did I take you? The Amalgabarons.
Yeah, the middle of nowhere.
The
Yeah,
Amalgabarons. They are in the middle of the nowhere.
off road in a truck
Yep.
to the
You have
middle
to
of
go up
nowhere.
over a levee, and then you go behind the levee, and there's this beautiful sort of,
Yep.
well, it's kind of a prairie.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's kinda
This was
funny.
our first date, FYI.
And we go out there, and she spends the entire date talking.
That's true.
Like,
Yeah, I talk when I'm nervous.
have you ever heard your mother talk?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just uncontrollably talk. Like, you can't get a word in edgewise.
Listen.
No, talking, not listening. Now, I get your point. That's a good one. But I mean talking. No, I'm guessing, no, because I've only heard it once.
Now, that being said, though, when we got there, we were going to have cheese and crackers and an
I haven't
apple.
gotten there yet. I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
gotten there yet.
All right,
You
well,
were
go
talking.
ahead. He's a better
You were
storyteller.
still talking.
All right.
You were
All
talking
right,
a
go
lot.
ahead.
So we had cheese, we had some crackers, and we had an apple. And I realized that we need to cut open the apple and we need to cut the cheese. So I went back to my truck and I picked up my knife. My knife's this big, long buck knife that I would take out into the field with me. And I look at this thing, and I'm looking at this woman who just accused me of being an asshole. I'm looking at this woman like, oh, this is not going to go right. So I brought it, myself holding the blade, and I passed it to her. I'm like, you could hold this tonight.
Yeah.
And I gave her the knife.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
So that's enough of that first question,
Yeah,
right?
well, that was that's how we met at our first date. Is that it for that question?
I'm married.
Married? Oh, that's
Married?
4 years later.
Married,
That's a lot.
married or engaged? What do you want, the engagement story
Or
or the
do we
marriage
want to talk
story?
about your announcement of our marriage, to which I locked you out of the apartment?
Oh, no, that was way
And by the
before.
way, we were not living together. I'm at her apartment. I live in a different apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
And I come over, and it's like after 3 dates,
Yeah,
And-
that's
and-
about right.
your mother announces, well, you know, we need to talk about the marriage
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, married.
yeah.
on day 3, third date.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
skip a lot.
That's true.
And then she walked out of the house, the apartment,
Yeah.
and left me in her apartment, and she left. So I immediately locked the door, and I would not let her back in the house because that is just wrong. You do not say marriage and then walk out of the
drop the
house
mic.
with that,
Yeah, drop the
that
mic.
bomb.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Did you feel that you were ready for marriage at the time you got married?
I was.
I was too.
Yeah.
It took your mother a few months, and it took me about 4 years.
But I will say, by the third date, I knew that he was marriage material. Not that I wanted to marry him, but he was marriageable.
And by the third date, I knew she was cute.
Yeah. And then, what, 4.5 years later?
4 years.
4 years later, we got engaged.
Now, I did start working on your engagement ring 6 months in advance.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That
So
was a
you weren't
project.
part of that process, but that,
Yeah.
yeah, it took me about 6 months to put that wedding ring together.
Yep.
Engagement ring.
Yep.
What personal qualities did you begin to notice in your future spouse?
Well, he was really cute. So
Oh,
we'll start there.
I wasn't going with that. I was going. she had a very strong work ethics and really strong value system.
Well, but the first thing I noticed is that he was very cute and very funny. And he can tell a really good story.
Oh, she didn't need me. That was important. She didn't need me. I was not needed. I provided, I would say, value and benefit, but I wasn't needed. And I thought that was really important.
I think you have to explain that more.
Well, okay, so she didn't need me to define herself. She was a fully functioning individual with strong priorities, good ideas, and a clear goal to what she wanted to do. I could complement that, but she wasn't looking for someone to sort of create her identity, to be almost kind of a point to her purpose. I didn't want that. I wanted something who could be independent. I wanted something who could be a partner, someone who could be could help me be better. And you can't have that if they're just someone who's capitulating to you.
And I also knew that I would want my kids to be like him. That was a test. Do I want my kids to grow up to be like him?
You poor kids.
And obviously the answer was yes, because here we are 20...
Long time. Almost 30 years.
20, yeah, almost 30 years.
We've been dating for more than 30 years.
Yeah, that's true. Is there another question?
What is most rewarding about being married?
No.
No.
You have a partner in crime. I mean, just a partner. There's a ton of individuals that will come in and out of your life, and they're good and they're valuable, but there's one person who continues to make you better.
Yep, I think partner in crime is good.
Mhm.
You get to pick one person. That's what you used to say. You get to pick one person to be part of your family.
Which is why it took me 4 years, because you better make a good choice.
Yeah, don't mess up
You
that
get
choice.
one shot at this. Don't rush into it for any reason. Make sure it is good. Make sure all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is gonna work.
but like nothing's like really fun or done until I get to tell you or share it with
Yeah.
you or whatever. Yeah, partners in crime, which is also how we parented, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a crime.
total crime.
I mean, you had 5, siblings. You have 2.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Probably
That
shouldn't,
was a joke.
probably shouldn't joke about that with my family tree.
There was no murder. It was just extra relations.
You gotta edit all that part out.
This is not good. Do we say lots of jokes?
What was most difficult about being married?
No, lots.
Oh yeah. For me, it was communicating, and
Past tense.
and still is communicating. However, we did have to learn how to fight because
Oh, we did.
I grew up in a house where it was very volatile, and anytime someone raised their voice, I just totally shut down. The first fight we had after we got married, I left the house, and that didn't help the fight at all. So.
I don't remember that. I don't need to remember it. It's not.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that as a strategy. But over the years, I've gotten better. It's still a struggle, same struggle. I think when we argue, it's usually about the same things we argued about in the beginning. So it's, yeah.
You're not the same person. I mean, you might be a partner, but you're not the same person. And yep, you have different needs. You work to accommodate them, but that doesn't mean you do a very good job at it.
And there's always going to be conflicts when you're living with another person because
Oh.
everything's about compromise.
It is. No, it takes a lot. It's not easy.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we've probably annoyed each other more than we've been annoyed by pretty much anybody else.
Yeah, that's true. We've been together
Long
than
time.
we
We have a
anyone
lot.
else.
a lot.
We've been together
We have a lot of
longer
material to work
than we
with.
lived in our parents' house.
Oh, by a long shot.
Yeah.
Long shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Almost double.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost double.
Mhm. Yep.
But yeah, no, I don't know what is the central thing. Because yeah, I would say for you it's communication. What would be for me? I don't actually know. Patience.
Patience and probably getting overly consumed by something.
And something else. I'll
Yeah.
get totally okay. So one of my main issues, because I probably have more, is losing the plot. Something else would sort of take on all of my attention, all of my energy, and if it's stressful or if it's difficult, I will bleed it home.
Yeah.
And I work actively not to, but I'm sure I'm not as good as I think I might be.
Sounds right.
Yeah, you seem too agreeable to that. We could do communicating now.
Sounds right. That is correct. Yeah, that's accurate.
Did your marriage preparation involve meeting with a priest, deacon, or other married couple?
Yes.
Yes. we yep. So I converted to Catholicism because I grew up without really a religion, or some of my family was religious. But I had a firm belief that the whole family should be the same religion. And religion was important to you and your side of the family.
It was very important to my side of the family.
Yeah. So I went through a year-long process, meeting with the priest every week. I went through the whole process, and then we did a
Retreat.
betrothal retreat where
In
we
the middle of Aurora, Louisiana,
yeah
where we got locked away.
we did we went and we were like
We
in
had to
dorms.
talk publicly
Yeah,
to people we don't know.
there was so okay. So I'm going to tell this story because that's all he probably remembers. So we were in like dorms, right? All the women in one dorm, all the men in another dorm. And we did like these activities, and it was led by Catholic couples who'd been married for a long time. And it was kind of, I think there were a couple of different age brackets of couples. Am I remembering that right? Yeah. So the advice from these different age groups was very different. And then we had to write a betrothal, which was really like writing our vows.
Yeah, which we wouldn't be able to do within the church.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been able to do the church. I don't know if
Right.
people can today, but we would not have been
Yeah,
able to.
because with a full mass, it's the process is you don't write them.
Change.
Yeah.
We could not.
So we wrote them, and then we read them in front of everyone else who was in our group and the other couples, and it was sort of our like promise for what it is moving forward. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's all good.
And I was wondering, I don't have that
I
anymore.
don't have a copy.
That's
of it.
interesting. So if you ever do that, keep a copy, take a photo.
Or if you find a copy, read it and see if we actually are honest.
Yeah, because we didn't have cell phones.
No, all the days of like photographing.
No,
we
none of that.
didn't have digital cameras
I would
back
have
then.
to keep a piece
Do
of
you remember
paper.
the digital camera, the big long tube?
And that was-
Like,
yeah, that was
it was
way
like
after.
4
Yeah,
pixels.
we didn't have that.
Big
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah. So yes, we went through a year-long conversion process and then a weekend retreat for
Your
engaged
conversion
couples.
took a lot more than a year, didn't it?
No, it was a year.
It was a year.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great, thank you. In your opinion, what is the most important thing that every person should think about before getting married?
Oh, I got an answer for
That's
this one.
easy. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you first.
No, you first.
You have to have the same value system.
Yep, that's
You
what
have
I
the
was gonna say.
same ethics, same value system. You have to, at a fundamental level, agree on what is the priority.
Yeah.
And that
Your
is-
your core ethical belief.
So all the difficult questions we've ever had have generally been, what do you think? And the other person is generally of complete agreement, and it's just done.
Yep.